Tradies, how to work properly with your bookkeeper. I wrote a video a couple of weeks ago about how you shouldn't rely only on your accountant and your bookkeeper to give you advice about money and numbers. Now, they're good people, but they're specialists in tax and risk and business structures and compliance. They're not necessarily experts in running a trade business and making profit. That's my job. However, they are important. They have a purpose, they're vital, and they should be part of your team. And it's important that you learn to work with them properly and get what you need from them. It's good for you to understand how to work with them so you support to build the systems in your business and understand your numbers. You run a trade business now. You're not just a tradie anymore. This is your job now. It's important. It's your responsibility. And it's important for you to lead your bookkeeper and not so much be led by your bookkeeper. I'm expecting that you want to make more money, free up time, and be less responsible for everything that goes on in your business. And if you want to do that, you need to focus yourself and your energy and your effort, if you like, on the business part of your business, not just the trade part, not just the work part. And importantly, that includes understanding your money, understanding your numbers. It means making sure you price profitably, making sure the work is done profitably, making sure you check that it was done profitably, making sure the bills get paid and the invoices get raised and everybody gets paid, and that you understand that all those things are happening properly. Now, your bookkeeper and your accounting system are an important source of that information. That's where that information is at the business level, not at the job level so much, but at the business level. And it's important you're across it. For you to be across it, you need to have up-to-date and accurate information in there. For you to do that, and for me to do it with you, if I'm your business coach, you need to have up-to-date and accurate information in your accounting system. We need to be able to look in there and look at the bank accounts and know that they're up-to-date, and that is actually how much money's in there. We need to look and be able to see that the accounts receivable is correct, and that's how much you're owed, and that the bills that have been entered in there are correct, and that's how much you have to pay out, and there's not loads more floating around not yet entered in. We need to be able to look in the profit and loss and know that that's up to date and current and has all been reconciled, right? I want you to have it done weekly so that you can look at it on the same day, so that you can look at it the next day and know that it was up to date yesterday, and that's current information every week, right? And we can only do that if the information in there is current and up to date, and your bookkeeper has had all the data entered and reconciled it every week. It's quite common for a bookkeeper to want to batch your stuff and do it monthly. You don't want that, because then it's only up to date once a month. So it's becoming your job to, rather than letting your bookkeeper tell you how it's going to be and tell you what their terms are for how they're going to deliver service to you, for you to say to them, this is how I'd like you to do it for me. This is how it's going to help my business. Very important. You need to lead now. Now you're a leader. Now you're a business person. You're no longer just a tradie. Keep saying this. You'll be sick of me soon. You don't want them to batch it. You don't want them to set up your chart of accounts kind of the normal way, the traditional way. You want them to set up your chart of accounts. That's how it shows up in your profit and loss, in a way that reflects how you do your quotes, in a way that reflects a trade business, right? You want labor and materials and rubbish removal, equipment hire, home warranty insurance if you're a builder, all as costs of sale. You want the admin people's wages as expenses down below. You don't want everybody's wages down below, because then when you say to me, get a 30% margin on jobs, it won't show up there, will it? Because the wages will be in the wrong place. So there's a reason for this. We're setting it up to reflect how you do business, how you do quote. I don't anticipate that your bookkeeper will be pissed off if you ask them to do it like this. I expect them to go, oh, that makes sense. Of course. If they don't do that, you might have a problem. You also don't want them entering data manually, which is kind of the old way, and people used to do it like that. There are automations now. You should check that they're using them. I'm talking about Dext and HubDoc, things like that. You should be setting up a system so that the data entry part is automated, and you're not paying somebody, $80 an hour to enter data. You're paying your bookkeeper to do the more difficult stuff and give you the information, stuff like payroll or the reporting. And you want to meet your accountant and plan for tax, so that you're planning for tax and saving up the right amount of money, and you want to spend time with your bookkeeper and understand your compliance obligations and that you're paying people correctly. They're a really useful source of information like that. I've seen a lot of builders and a lot of tradies kind of handicapped by accountants and bookkeepers who don't give them that service, and it's not their fault. That's their job, right? Their job is to do your tax and do your books, not necessarily to do it in a specific way. It's your job to tell them how you want it, right? It's on you. You need that information to run your business properly. You need it fresh and current. You need it accurate. You need it set up how you want to see it. You need to tell them how you want it. I've made a guide. No shit, John. You can grab it. It's about the tech stack and how to set up the system with your bookkeeper so it's effective for you, like I've just described. You can grab it. And my partner Michelle, I don't know if you know, runs a business called Breaking Baz, which does bookkeeping for my clients, and she can help you if your bookkeeper doesn't want to. See ya.